Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you've been following along with the build series. Today we're trying to set up walls, and this is my first time doing it, so there was a lot of trial and error here. So for your entertainment, you can watch us try to get these walls set. It was pretty windy out, so that added another complexity into the whole thing, and you'll see I lose my camera here a couple of times, so I apologize. I didn't get the full video that I wanted, but we end up getting this wall up by putting some legs on the outer posts and kind of walking them up. And I noticed once you get past 45 degrees, the weight of the wall really isn't pulling those posts down anymore. So it becomes much easier once you get it up, but we just try to use some bracing here to prevent issues. And we actually get underneath the wall and pick it up from this point, and we put some legs. Although I didn't get it because my camera fell over. So we tried it again. I set up my camera for the other side wall. You can see the first one we did get up and we got it braced, and we kind of learned from that, so this went a little easier. There we're putting on our legs to kind of walk it up. We just used a lag screw at the top to rotate the legs around, and used my tractor basically to push the center post and the weight of the wall to push it up. You'll see once it gets past 45 degrees it becomes pretty easy. And then I just use the forks on the tractor to kind of hold the wall in place so it doesn't go over the other direction while we use my 8-foot level and get the post plumb and anchor them into the brackets. The brackets, we ended up putting 4 lag screws in each post, and we went back, I want to say a day or two later, and ended up putting in the 1/2-inch through bolts in. The legs did a pretty good job of holding the weight, and after we get the walls up the next day, it wasn't very windy, but it all worked out. But there was definitely some struggles. Maybe if you don't have the equipment, it may be easier to set each post individually and put the girt boards up individually. And here you're going to see me lose my camera. Again, the wind. And this is the end wall. This is our last wall that we set for the day, the end wall. We pushed up with 2 posts. It was pretty easy, and we offset the girts so we didn't run into issues hitting the end wall girt boards that were sticking out for the corners. So that went pretty smooth, and we had all of our posts braced with 2x4s and stakes driven in the ground, and that really added a lot of rigidity and gave me a warm fuzzy going home at night that the building wasn't going to fall over. We also used straps on the inside to tie the building, the 2 sides together, so that helped add rigidity that way too. So it seemed to work out pretty well. The last step in this process was setting up our corner posts. We set up both back corner posts, and they just used the tractor here to give us a little cheap insurance in case the post got away from us. But we got the corners plumb both directions, which I think will help later on in the build. And we just used the girt boards here to hold it in place, and then we lagged it in the bottom anchor. And then we just, with the post standing, filled in the rest of the girt boards around the corner. So really happy with how those turned out. Those posts are really straight and plumb, and I think that's going to help the rest of the build go a little easier for us. The other thing that happened this day, this was day 2 of setting walls up, was our inspector showed up for the waterproofing. So you'll see me kind of exit the film here for a while, because he showed up and we ended up passing that inspection, so I was very happy with that. And I'll have a later video that shows and details how I did the waterproofing around the house and the slab here. I kind of went a little above and beyond for the waterproofing on the slab. There was a lot of things I did. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. A few things that I did that was not required. But in my opinion, if you build a house that just meets code, it's probably got some room for improvement. Okay, this final clip is going to show the detail for the bottom girt board row. I wanted to seal the gap in between that bottom board and the concrete. The concrete's not perfect, nor is the wood, so there's going to be some gaps underneath that bottom girt, and I'm using a piece of 1/2-inch expandable foam just to seal up that gap to keep bugs and water and wind and stuff out. Pretty happy with the product. This is going to be an unheated garage, just kind of experimenting with it to see how it looks. It's probably not necessary, but I want to use it, find something that works good for the house. All in all, very happy with the way the walls turned out on the garage and excited to move on to trusses. That'll be the next video. Stay tuned. Should be entertaining. Thanks for watching.